What up, crypto lovers and enthusiasts? Happy day today. Today we're gonna take a look at previous bull runs. We're gonna take a look at try to just analyze them, okay, and do compare and contrast to the current one. Yeah, so we can try to see some characteristics of this current one, see what we can expect, and if there's time. I think with this one's we're gonna focus mostly on Bitcoin and the previous bull runs, okay. And if there's time, maybe I'll look at some altcoins. But as you know, or hopefully you know, everything's on sale. Everything's on sale. There are some great prices to be had. I hope you're not scared. And so without further ado, let's do this. You really shouldn't be scared. Okay. I mean, history doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. Okay. So just keep that in mind while we're taking a look at this. And let's take a look at this first. Okay. So the closest one, right, was this. No, I'm sorry. Not that one. This one right here. Right. That was the closest one. We already know this one. Let's take a look at the other cycle. Okay. This one right here. This up market right here. So we'll look at it from where it peaked. This is what the bear market looked like, sideways and then up. Look at how early before this, which is the Bitcoin halving. This is a representation of the Bitcoin halving. Look how early before the Bitcoin halving in this cycle it did a mid-cycle peak, right? And then it dropped so much it was almost like coming back down here. It was coming back down here. I understand it was COVID and everything, but it dropped pretty low. Okay, after this it peaked and it dropped a lot, all before the Bitcoin halving. Okay, that's something to note. That was the characteristic of this one, right? And then after the Bitcoin halving, it was already starting to come up, right? Because of this, you could see that it moved up and then it dropped down again, right? Kind of like a head and shoulders. Okay, and also of note, after the Bitcoin halving, it still didn't reach all-time highs yet. Okay, the all-time high of this bull run was up here. Okay, so it hadn't reached it in this cycle as it's going into the next bull run, right? That's where I personally think we are right now, is like more or less right around here in comparison to this, because what we're waiting for is this part, okay, the parabolic part into this bull run right here. I'll say it happened. It started right here, right after this drop. From that point on, it started going up, and it didn't really drop below this area right here. So we're gonna say that, and then we're gonna do it to the top peak right here, which is basically around 223 days. Okay, 223 days, depending on where I do the measurements. Okay, and I can do them a little bit closer. Okay, so keep that in mind, the 223 days, and that's why I mentioned to you guys yesterday, these last few days, around 250 days of the up only, right? And I say 250 because they get a little longer. Okay, so I'm guessing we could easily just say over 200 days. Okay, and then keep it like that. But I'm saying 250. It could be less. It could even be more. Okay, but because they are getting longer, and we're gonna take a look at the characteristics of this one. So this one was nice and sharp. And another characteristic of this one, which I don't think we're gonna see this time, is it did a double top. If you take it all the way over here, it's like 500 and something days, right? Could it be 500 and something days? That would take us into 2026 easy, right? So that would take us somewhere into like the middle of 2026 topping out. But I don't think so. I don't think we do that. I'm sorry, not 500 and something days. Roughly 430 days. 430 days. All right, but I'm thinking around 250 days, more or less, right around there, right? Give or take, is what we're waiting for to see this. And then there's a little period where it kind of goes sideways, right? This is your period to really be selling. I mean, you probably be trying to do your best to catch all of this. All of this lasted how long, right? Roughly 77 days, okay? With the first peak, and then there's another peak, and then there's another peak, and then there's a smaller peak, and then that was it. So I mean, that's basically the top 70 something days. I'd say like 30 days, right? To be able to sell out of everything. Nice 30-day window to be able to sell out. Sometime after 200 and something days, right at the very top, right before 200 and something days, you just start selling. Pick a 30-day window and be like, in these next 30 days, I'm going to sell everything, regardless of what it is. Okay, and that's what I would do. That's my plan. Okay, and so that's the analysis of this one, of that cycle right there. Okay, Now let's take a look at this one so we can see the differences and the similarities. Okay, compare and contrast. So the drop, right? This was the bottom, and then we started the ascent. Okay, started the ascent, and as you can see, one of the things that jumps out to me looking at it like this is the long sideways consolidation before the next boom leg up. This long sideways consolidation, really stayed in that consolidation a long time, and then boom, next leg up. This one kind of grinded up a little bit more, consolidate, but I mean it was a slow consolidation. I could see us do something like that. This part right here, okay, something like that, just like a slow grind up, right? Boom. All right, this is the first part of the bull market, right? Where the last one around, I'm gonna put all the lines back. Where the last one, it was before this. This is the Bitcoin halving. Before the halving, it had already peaked out, right? The last one we just saw, if you remember, and then it kind of dropped, went almost like another bear market. But this one, it's been steady climbing since the bottom, right? It's just been steady climbing. Notice that we're not anywhere close to this again ever, right? And on top of that, we broke all-time highs before the Bitcoin halving, right? Right here in March, right? Before the Bitcoin halving, so that's another thing. And the peak happened right there. That turned out to be the peak, and look how close it is to the Bitcoin halving, okay? And because that's like tough to do, right? If we look at this last one, right? We didn't break all-time highs until right here, until this little area right here. That's a bit of time right there. A bit of time just playing around that area before we blasted through. How much time? Just like a couple weeks, maybe. 22 days. I'm sorry. Yeah, 22 days. A few weeks. Okay, a few weeks. And this time to rip through that, it took us basically a year. All right. So another characteristic of this thing is those long consolidations. Okay, you can see that, right? You can see that long consolidations, and then boom, leg up. And now we're consolidating again. Now, are we going to see another year of consolidation? I don't think so. I don't think so, because of how close we are. I think maybe what we see is, you know, up to a couple of weeks. Now, we could probably spend time right here and still be pretty fine, right? And then the next leg up, boom, and then consolidate a little less shorter, boom, a little less shorter. Because let's take a look at how long 200 days is. 200 and something days. Let's say in the next few days we start moving up, all right? And we start counting that 200 and something days. 250, let's say 250. That would mean it would peak around, if it peaked at 250 days, September 20th. So around that time, right before, slightly before, right, like 230 days, 240 days, 240 days, right? You started selling, you sold into that, and you sold for the following until 30 days are up, or however long, right? You'd be right here. You'd still be at the end of September. I mean, at the end of the last 3 months of 2025. So I'm thinking that'll be pretty good. Like, now, let's say we spend time here up until 25th of April. Okay, 25th of April. Let's say, yeah, 25th of April, we start going up in earnest. Right, 250 days takes us all the way, basically to 251 days. To December, right? To the end of this year, December 31st. So around that time, you know, just before December, into December, you start selling off, right? For that to happen, those 200 days of up that we just saw, something similar, we could just kind of mosey around here, slowly grind up, right? Just kind of pick a big range, slowly grind up, right? Maybe be into like the 117, and then boom. Start doing a leg right around there, and that would be another leg up, and that would be the beginning of the up only. But maybe this one is kind of like how it's been, sideways consolidation, and then boom, a big move up. You know, this next leg up will probably get us into 120, 130 range, right? And then we'll probably be ranging out into in between 130 and 120 for a little while, and then boom, next leg up. Boom, next leg up. Okay, so there's still time. Don't think that it's over. All right, that just because it's lulling you to death with these moves, I think that's just the characteristic of this particular bull run. All right, so but look at how we're going steady up, guys. All right, so keep that in mind when we do this and see how it is right now. Okay, all right. So I said maybe we could see something like this, but I don't think too much lower. Although today we got pretty low, 92,500. Do we touch at 90,000 again? That's the $64,000 question. But does it really matter? In at the end of this year, are we really going to remember this, or are we going to be too busy focused on cashing out? right? Right now though, it's a great opportunity, and that's how you got to look at it. Okay, even if we drop, even if we come down here, I mean, down here would be 86,300, but I don't think so. Okay, this line goes up pretty quickly, right? Where are we in like 90,000 already? February 4th, we're already in 90,000 as support. Okay, so keep that in mind too. I think we're just gonna be range bound until it decides to do that next leg up. Now, I don't think it's gonna take all year, but it could take a couple weeks, right? And range bound, we could be as high as this. We could be back up to under 7 in a couple of days. And that doesn't mean that we're not range bound, because we could come back down after, right? And just kind of just do that for a little while. Maybe slowly grind up, right? And before you know it, we are at 116, 118, and that doesn't mean that, well, it doesn't mean the up only part, or maybe we don't even see an up only part like that. Maybe we see during the course of these next 200 something days, we see the sideways consolidation, then big leg up, go up a good amount, $20,000, $30,000, and then sideways consolidation, and boom, do it again. All right, so that's another way to keep it in mind, but I do think my thesis of selling everything is gonna prove to be right around here. This is gonna be like the sweet spot to sell everything before things come down. Now it could be that this was even longer and it goes into 2026 and it goes a little higher to 2026. That's okay. I'm gonna stick to my time-based plan. Me personally, right? I'm gonna stick to my time-based plan, sell what it is, and if it's higher, cool. It doesn't matter, because eventually it's gonna come back down. It's gonna come back down below this area, how I see it, right? Because that's how it's happened. How low? How low? I don't know. Okay, we'll figure that out when the time comes. But maybe we come back down to 100 after going up as high as 200, 250. Okay, so that's pretty much how I see it in a nutshell, guys. So don't get too scared. Let's see if I can put this part into. All right, some takeaways from some of the stuff that I've been looking at today. Okay, Bitcoin adoption is expected to increase dramatically in 2025, led by institutions, retail investors, and low-income countries. I saw quite a few countries today, Thailand, Bhutan, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. The success of Bitcoin ETFs and growing, all talking about reserves or getting involved with Bitcoin into their balance sheets, etc., stuff like that, into the government, things of that nature with Bitcoin, getting involved with Bitcoin. Okay, the governments, the countries, it's crazy. It's positive, bullish, extremely bullish. Okay, the success of Bitcoin ETFs and growing institutional involvement, along with Bitcoin-backed Bitcoin reserves, will drive Bitcoin's mainstream integration. Countries like El Salvador, India, and Nigeria are pushing forward Bitcoin adoption as a key economic tool, and that's just going to continue. I've mentioned waves after waves, and there's waves continuously coming, guys, continuously coming. Bitcoin's price is expected to rise significantly, with predictions ranging from 160 to 180,000. I think that's really conservative. I mean, that could be in the next couple of months. In the next few months, right? Middle of the year, easily. Short-term outlook. Bitcoin continued integration into global economies and financial systems, especially in low-income countries and among institutions, suggests a strong upward trend for Bitcoin prices in 2025. As regulations continue to improve, Bitcoin could solidify its place as a global reserve asset. Guys, I hope you positioned yourself. I hope today, after what we saw, you guys aren't scared out of your minds. As your portfolio goes down, I hope you're actively looking at positioning yourselves, okay? If you don't want to take too much risk, just buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, buy Solana. Boom, that's it. You'll make yourself a nice little 2, 3, 4, maybe 5x, okay? Or if you want to really shoot for more, if you want to get into the 20, 30, 40, 50x or more gains, buy Mr. Miggles right now. Buy Toshi right now. Buy KeyCat right now. Buy Dog and Me right now. I mean, when things are red, that's when you should be buying. Okay, keep that stuff in mind. We'll take a look at one and call it a day. All right, because I could do this forever. I really like crypto. Crypto's my thing. IQ, I've mentioned it to you guys, right? Quite a bit. It's pumped up quite a bit. It's having a red day. Okay, it's having a red day, but not as bad as the other ones. It's holding up pretty strong. Maybe a little nibble here. It might not be the worst thing in the world. And another one that has moved up a lot. We'll call this one, and then that's it. This one's another meme. That was an AI meme. Bobcat, 8.9 million. Okay, so check this out really quick. Went up this high, came back down. People were like, damn, I should have bought. Hopefully you didn't and waited, because you'd be happy right now waiting. Now, this is what I think could happen. If it doesn't hold this 0097, I could see us coming back down here. 0065. That, it also 786 is right around here. So, I mean, I could see a lot of support right here, and I would see this would probably be the best buying opportunity. If you're a little patient, and if the market continues to bleed out a little bit, I can see us coming back down here, 0065. I would buy. This thing's going to go much higher. Look at that little pump right there. Boom, boom. Come right here. Boom. It's going to go much higher, guys. So, I mean, if you can catch it under 10 million, if you can catch it at 006, I would. Right. Cool. We're going to leave it there, guys. If you can, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. Trying to grow the channel. All that stuff really does help. With all that said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace.